Hello everyone, Zenko here, and today we're going to be reviewing the Fan Festival in Tokyo. I'm sure all of you were just as excited as I was, so let's just jump right into it. Now we do have the trailer here, which is not too much different than what we saw last time, but there aren't really many visual changes, at least to the scene and characters that we get to see until the very end. So let's just go until we can see the actual changes. So right after the Viper teaser, we do still have Alice getting this fruit from the Mumulja over there. And speaking of the Mumulja, we do get another view of him cutting a fish with a nice little knife over there, which then transitions back into this section of this fight. And then after this, we do get an overhead view of the nice city, and then we go directly into Graha eating the taco, of course. But Graha does notice something a little peculiar, which happens to be Cryo rocking the PICTOMANCER gear. It was a pretty easy guess for a lot of you, but some people were looking a little bit deeper into it. But it does truly look amazing. I know that a lot of people are going to be really excited to get their Bob Ross cosplay going on. For me, I'll try to do something a little bit more unique, but I am still nonetheless really excited for this amazing looking job. And side note, you get to see this beautiful view of the city so far while we go along this journey with the dust bunny over here. And wow, just truly look at the size of the city and how beautiful it is. And as we go over this gigantic bridge, you can actually see the other side of Tral. And just as we come out of the water, we go back to the view of the ship with a friendly little face there, Alpha No. And just along the other side of us, there's Erinville, which all of you probably know and love. And another big surprise is the reveal of female HROTHGAR. Even though I am not the biggest fan of anything HROTHGAR related, it is really nice. They did a good job, and I think it would suit well in the world of Final Fantasy. Now, one thing you do have to keep in mind is that they did tell us there is no actual release date yet. They have an internal date, but for us, it's just pretty much going to be summer still, as you can see, and mainly because they don't want to have the same disappointment that they did with Endwalker, where they said a specific release date, then they had to push it back. So yeah, they will have an actual internal release date, but we don't fully know yet, other than just summer vaguely. Side note, this jersey is sick. I'm gonna actually have to buy this as soon as it's not out of stock, so yeah. Here we get a little preview of what PICTOMANCER could look like, with their job gear, and all the nice fruits, and the selection of possibly drinks I can see from afar a little bit. I won't lie, the graphics and the overall abilities and how they look and effects kind of remind me a little bit of Splatoon, so it's kind of cool. And you can see in the back there a little flying squirrel-esque kind of guy with little knives and swords on him, I guess. But the main thing that we're looking at here is that PICTOMANCER can actually draw different landscapes and various other things, such as a Moogle that can fire a laser beam at the flying squirrel or whatever you desire. And that is it for the little trailer for PICTOMANCER. Now do keep in mind that it is still a DPS, of course, but they did say that it will have some support capabilities. Kind of like Dancer, possibly, where they can buff people, your teammates, and things like that. And they specifically said that they will not have a raise. Here we can see a larger image of the PICTOMANCER job gear and also the artwork that was provided. I cannot lie, it looks really good, and I will probably be playing both jobs just to see how it is. I don't know if I will like it, but we'll see when the time comes. One thing that is quite interesting though, that I did notice, is that the location where you're going to pick up this job is actually in Gridania. And again, as last time, we do know how this is kind of going to go with the Scions being divided, but we do know that Cryle is actually on our side here, of course, rocking the PICTOMANCER gear, so we still have that. And again, they showcase the new character here, the female HROTHGAR, which her name is Wook Lamat, and we will actually be seeing her in patch 6.55 part 2, which is coming out in about a week or so, from when I'm recording this, of course. And then we do get a little bit of a better view of the whole region of Tral. Also showcases this weird little purple thing in the center of the north side, which I wonder what that could be. We'll get to that in a little bit though. They then provide a little video to showcase all the new areas that we have yet to see. This we have seen though, which still looks beautiful as ever. But then we do get to see the western side of this, which also showcases where all the modders go after they get banned. And as well, a nice little saloon area, which also you can walk into and maybe have a little drink. But I won't lie, this area looks quite nice. It reminds me of Thanalan and the Old Dot area. And very shortly after, we also do get to see a little hub area where there is an actual aetheryte crystal that you can attune to. And I won't lie, it is a very, very nice and pretty area. The architecture and the overall theme is quite interesting, and there's not really going to be a dull moment at all when we're walking through Dawntrail. We have beautiful waterfalls, amazing scenery here, and a bunch of colorful and beautiful trees. This area is quite nice. It kind of reminds me of the Underdark, if you know what that is, but there's a lot of nice trees, vines, and super colorful and bright glowing flowers and other various foliage. In stark contrast, we have this amazing looking area, possibly one of my new favorites now, which is deemed Solution 9. Of course, they don't really go too much in depth on what this is, where it is, and why it's here, but it truly does look amazing. It honestly gives me some cyberpunk vibes. I love the neon lights, the signs, everything about it truly just screams cyberpunk, and that is my favorite thing of all time. So I'm super excited to go and explore this area. And as you can see again, it is called Solution 9, but I will say a couple people in my chat did mention that the name Solution 9 does actually have meaning in Final Fantasy IX, which I've never played, but could be correlated, I'm not too sure. But I do know that they do mention this is a player hub, so I am praying to God that this might be an area used for housing, but now that I think about it, it might not be, because there's something else I will talk about that might be used for housing. And then here they do showcase some of the concept art for an area named Heritage Found, which as you can see does actually have a train, but in the background there is a large purple and honestly advanced technical structure that has a giant dome on the top part of it. Not too sure what that could entail, but I'm assuming it could only be that one area that we just saw previously. And this is a little screenshot of in-game Heritage Found, and it honestly reminds me a lot of Vesper Bay with a mix of Alamigo, and it is highly reminiscent of Garlean stuff, except it's purple and not red. So very interesting to see where they take this whole advanced technological place and who actually made these things. Another badass screenshot, and this is presumably from a different perspective, possibly more near that dome-like structure, but there are a lot of thunderclouds and a lot of lightning going about, so I wonder what that could mean. I will say though, I don't know if you noticed, but there are a lot of power lines connecting throughout this whole area. And then they also showcase this, which is a nice little carousel. Hopefully a 24-man mount, that would be kind of nice, but a lot of people were guessing near. Me, I honestly am gonna hop on that bandwagon, or I guess carousel maybe, but I'm not too sure. I know amusement park is a huge part in my heart, so who knows, maybe. And then they do also show us the new allies, some of which we know, the Moblins, the Pelu Pelu, and a couple new faces like an alpaca, at least it seems like. And then we have people that resemble the Vanu Vanu, but they're actually called the Hanu Hanu, funnily enough. And then I don't remember what they're called, but they look like ogres or weird looking goldfish people. I don't really know, but they're quite big. And of course, we do have the Mumulja, which we have a lot of diversity here. As you can see, the little guy on the left, and then we have the one in the middle from the trailer that we saw. A bunch of different kinds, super interesting. And again, just like last time, we do know that we will be having the level cap increase to level 100. Although I will say, we do have a couple new outfits here, two of which stand out to me, the Dragoon and what I'm assuming to be a warrior of some sort, but it looks amazing. They all look really cool. I think the new job gear is going to be really outstanding, so I cannot wait to see those in-game. And then here they do go over the core battle content, which of course, as we all expected, there's going to be fates, hunts, treasure hunts, and the questing side quests, which obviously we all expected, of course. But then we do actually get to see some of the new dungeons, which this one I was super excited to see. Kind of reminded me of the Bayou crocodile hunting kind of shows, if that makes sense. This one was the one that they showcased that everyone was super surprised that it was an actual in-game screenshot. Truly a beautiful, beautiful dungeon that I'm super excited to get my hands on. Again, beautiful trees. This corally electrified looking mountainous area, super, super interesting. I really do wonder where that leads us. A lot of Mayan and Incan architecture and inspiration, as we can see, which we already kind of knew from last time. This one dungeon that we also kind of knew, but we only had the concept art for last time, but we do get to see it in game now. It does look really, really pretty. And then of course, the Solution 9 dungeon, which looks amazing, but they don't show too much of it because I think there's a lot of spoilers. New threats will be introduced, such as Velgarmonda, Eliminator, and what some people are calling Chadtar, but if I'm not mistaken, this guy on the very far right is called Barrel Tender. He definitely looks like he throws some barrels, or at least lifts 1,000 times a day, so I'm very excited to see what other new enemies and what these guys do. And of course, duty support is going to be a thing, just as it was in Endwalker, but this time we will have Cryo as a PICTOMANCER on our team, which is going to be super, super cool. And here we can see some of the new job gear. Personally, I really like the Sage one on the middle right. That one is really, really cool. And then we have Machinist, we have Reaper, Astrologer, and Paladin, which the ones on the far right are really, really cool. I love the Paladin with the little eye on the chest, the Astrologer little nightgown little outfit thing, and then of course Reaper just looking cool as fuck as always. And then we have some new lifestyle content, which is deemed Cosmic Exploration, which is really exciting. They did say that we will be going to multiple different planets around the solar system, I guess. And I'm assuming it's going to be sort of like the Ishgardian Restoration, possibly. But regardless, it's super exciting. I cannot wait to see what they have in store for us with this. And as we also already know, there's a new alliance raid called Echoes of Inadil. And for those of you that are familiar with Final Fantasy XI, someone by the name of Shadowlord will be making an appearance. I don't know anything about Final Fantasy XI either, but speaking of raids, there is a new 8-player raid called the Arcadion, and this looks amazing. I am so excited to do this. This is going to be amazing. It honestly looks like a giant GPU or a giant gamer PC with all the fans and RGB lighting and all that stuff, but I'm super excited to play this. God, it looks so cool. I cannot wait to get my hands on this. And for those of you that have statics, there is a new Ultimate raid, and it is by the name of Futures Rewritten Ultimate. And I know that some people are a little disappointed because they were expecting a Ultimate raid from the Stormblood expansion, but this still seems pretty cool. I've never done the actual quest line for this, so I will have to do that because it looks really nice, and obviously I'd like to unlock all the Ultimates at some point. And then they do showcase the ongoing content updates, which is Blue Mage, the Hildebrand questline, more deep dungeons, Gold Saucer, PvP, and also new variant dungeons, which is all really cool. I'm more excited for the Gold Saucer, the deep dungeons, and of course the Hildebrand questline, because those are always really good. But everything here is awesome. I cannot wait to see all these in action. And then we do have the field operations, which Yoshi P has actually talked about in interviews, but now he's talking about it here at the FanFest. No screenshots, pictures, anything other than that, but we do know we do have a field operation. So for those of you that like Baja and Eureka, which I kind of do, then yeah, you can be excited about that. On top of all that, we do actually have the name of the limited job, which is Beastmaster, which most of you have actually guessed, which is quite funny, but I am very excited to see what this could entail. Maybe I'm thinking like a Pokemon kind of style of job. I'm not too sure. But they did mention though that there will be a log of some sort, kind of like Blue Mage, with all these different monsters and beasts and things like that. And here we go into the first graphical overhaul update. And here you can see we have a normal, regular here that you see in everyday Final Fantasy. And then we do get to see the updated here, which looks amazing. All the shadows, the glossiness of the skin textures, the hair is so much improved. Even the background, look at the background, how high quality the clothing, all the different leather, cloth, and materials that they use. It is so amazing, truly what they've done. It's amazing. I can also see the eyes are a little updated too and a little bit more in depth. Everything's a bit more rounded out, the chin, the jaw, the ears. And on the female here, you can actually see a big difference, of course, again, with the lips, the nose, the shadows, the highlights, the hair, the eyes, everything. Again, the texture, even on the little metal part, when her neck part connects to the chest strap thing, that whole metallic shimmer, it's so amazing. They did such a good job. I really cannot wait to see all of these in action in the actual game. And now I'll do a little preview slideshow of what your race could look like. I will note though that here I really am in love with the scarring and the face paint. I love how it blends so well now. The scar actually looks real and like it's developed and healed over time. Truly amazing. Again here, the eyes, the shadows, overall, everything just looks so much cleaner. Blended the hair, especially in the back, looks so much better. There's a lot of depth and shadows. Male Elzen doesn't look like he wants to die 24/7. He actually got a therapy session, I'm assuming, because he looks so much happier and just content with life. Female Elzen with another big glow up, but I do want to make note of the leather neck strap part on the clothing, where it looks so nice. You can actually see the leather texture and the shimmer and shine on it. So good. And for all the male Makote fans and Graha simps, I heard all of them faint at once and tumble on the floor. I did, I swear. But they do look good. Not too much difference, but the shadows and lighting overall does make a big difference. And for the female Makote, they did make a big point of how currently in Final Fantasy the shading is not really good when it comes to darker skinned characters in shadowy and dark environments, but now with the updated shaders and graphics, it should look a lot better. And already, the thing that stands out to me is just the hair. How amazing and fluffy the hair is, especially around the ears. It's really great. Male Rogadin looking like a Giga Chad as usual, and especially those band-aids. Those band-aids actually got a huge improvement as well. But again, the eyes completely transformed. It looks a lot better, a lot more detailed. And the lips as well, again, more realistic and more tuned. And this one is for my buddy MV. He is a big fan of female Rogadin, but as you can see, the lips, again, the actual texture on the skin looks so amazing. The eyes kind of pop and they're much more lifelike. It's truly just amazing what they've done with all these graphical updates. And of course, you can't forget about the best race in Final Fantasy, Lalafell. As a Lalafell main, I can definitely see a couple differences, but not too many, and I believe that's only because everyone knows that Lalafell is perfect as they are, and that they don't really need a big change because, you know, they're just perfection. So yeah, still good to see though. The texture and the shadow overall is really nice. I won't lie though, female Lalafell definitely got the better end of the stick for sure, because the lighting and the shadowing looks amazing here, so big props to them. For the edgelord mains, you still have your edgy appearance, but the actual bony scale parts on the horns do actually look a lot better, way higher quality, and the texture on it, again, just looks so much better. Female Au Ra is very interesting. They did make note that they did want to keep that sort of dead eye look, but if you do want something a little bit more lifelike, then you can actually alter and change it, but they want to make a big note of that. But they did also mention that they want to keep the female Au Ra kind of delicate and fragile, if that sort of makes sense, and I definitely think they hit the nail on that one. Here we have HROTHGAR again. Not the biggest fan, but they do have some overhauls and updates and things that look good. And if you're wondering about female HROTHGAR, we will see a little video which showcases a little bit of what they have to offer. And for the male Viera fans, I'm sure you all dropped dead on the floor while seeing this. And one of my all-time favorites, the female Viera, actually look stunning. I cannot wait to see them in game and all the different customizations. I'm not gonna last 1 minute in Limsa, no way. But in other news, you will be getting a free Fantasia once the Dawntrail expansion releases, so do look forward to that as well. They do also show us the 2 dye channels, and it does look amazing. I really cannot wait. And for those of you that are interested in Gil and the market in Final Fantasy, I would honestly be saving your dyes, because I only imagine that it's going to be a lot more expensive to buy these. And here we do have a couple different outfits and color schemes that we can see. Truly amazing what they've done with all of these dye channels. Another thing that they did want to mention is that even though there are some limitations to what they can change color with because of materials and texturing, they are still trying to give players the customization and option to change the majority of the piece, so hopefully your favorite outfit does get that color change that you want. And then if you do still have a potato PC, these are the minimum system requirements and the recommended ones. So if you need to upgrade, definitely do that somewhat soon and look into it. But I feel like majority of people actually are able to run this. They will also be having the Xbox open beta testing in February. So if you are on Xbox and are looking to play Final Fantasy XIV or just want to try it on Xbox, then there you go. You can look forward to that. And for those of you that are excited about Final Fantasy XVI collab, they are planning it for early April. So just at that peak of the hype for Dawntrail and the new expansion, you do get to try the Final Fantasy XVI collab, and you can get your hands on that Torgal mount. As promised, I did say that we're going to be looking at the female HROTHGAR. Here they are in game. You can see the amazing world of what I'm assuming to be Toral, but they do look a lot better than what I anticipated them to look like. Again, not the biggest fan of anything HROTHGAR, but I cannot lie, they did such a good job implementing them into the world of Final Fantasy. You can see that their posture is actually a lot more straight up and full of confidence and strength. So for those of you that didn't really like the male HROTHGAR kind of slouch, then I'm sure you'll be happy with this. To be fair though, they did say that female HROTHGAR is supposed to be the more strong, confident, and leader kind of type between the two. So if you're also into that, you can look forward to that. They also show all the different emotes and what they could look like in different poses. Also all the different environments, whether it's the jungle, the desert, and all different types of locations. But one thing I do think is quite interesting is they do showcase all the different kind of face shapes, structuring, and sizes of the nose and all the features. So do take a look at that and hope it is diverse enough for you to make the character of your dreams. And of course, they always showcase the character art at the end. I really do like the Gunbreaker sword. And then Yoshi P did mention that this was the quote-unquote last race that they decided to work on, but he did say he may be convinced, and truly, if they're making a lot of money from all these different races, I'm sure they're not going to stop. I highly doubt it. And if you're interested in the lore of the female HROTHGAR, then there you go. And then of course at the end we do get another little image of the trailer with Wuklamot on the boat with us, and we can expect her to be shown in the patch 6.55 part 2 in the MSQ. So honestly, kind of surprising. Again, that'll be on the 16th of January, so please look forward to that. And last but not least, we do have the poster for Dawntrail, which showcases a lot of familiar faces, but also a lot of new faces and people that we don't know. I don't know if that's Wuklamot on the bottom left there, next to Kryl, but she does seem to be rocking a warrior weapon, per se, maybe. Either way, though, this is really, really cool. I'm super excited, and I hope that all of you are just as excited as I am. That is the conclusion of the FanFest in Tokyo. I do hope that all of you are just as hyped as I am, because I am super, super excited, especially about the lifestyle content and the new regions and areas, especially that Solution 9 area. Oh my god. And if you like this Final Fantasy content, please make sure to let me know in the comments what you would like to see improved, what you don't like about it. And if you do like it a lot, then please make sure to subscribe so you can get up to date with what I'm posting. So thank you all for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed it, because I had a lot of fun watching. So yeah, I will see you guys later, and I'm out. Peace.